In my opinion, the Russian horror scene hasn't had it good in a very long time.
Soviet cinema without a doubt had some of the most influential and innovative impacts on cinematic history, there's no debating that. But focusing on Russia, in terms of horror movies, long gone are the days of Tarkovsky. When I was thinking about it, the last horror film I could remember attributed to Russia that was decent was Night Watch from all the way back in 2004, which was more of a fantasy action film and I didn't even enjoy it. Ever since then, any that have been recommended to me or I read on these best Russian horror films lists are pretty damn pathetic. So when I heard about Sputnik, I got pretty excited. It wasn't only a Russian horror film with a good reputation, but it was sci-fi horror, my favourite genre of all.
Wow!
The basic plot follows a cosmonaut who returns from space with an alien inside him, and we get a look into the government's secret research into the creature.
As the film progresses, the darker sides of the creature are revealed. We then see the sacrifices the government must go through in order to keep it stable, and eventually the narrative twists into areas that we weren't expecting.
The film looks fantastic. They utilise light and shadows effectively to give it a sombre, stylish look that accentuates the tone it's going for perfectly. It has the camera flowing freely throughout the film as it views the proceedings. Considering a lot of the movie is dialogue driven in a bland underground bass, this prevents it from feeling so static. The effects too are top notch. I was stunned this thing only has a budget of $2.6 million because the CGI is phenomenal for that price. The deep shadows also help the special effects shine even more. The alien itself is well designed too. The only knock I can give it is very much in that group of post-Cloverfield monsters with grey-white skin and long limbs. But other than those minor gripes, it's a very unique creature that's suitably creepy.
Unlike most Parasite movies, this one is actually good for its host. It doesn't kill him, actively make him worse, and in many ways actually gives him a lot of benefits.
Just as a cosmonaut requires a suit to survive in space, for this alien, the cosmonaut is its suit. The music can be a little off in certain scenes. It's good music, don't get me wrong, but it feels a little too bombastic and orchestral at times. For instance, the scene where she's arriving at the base could have been used to build some atmosphere and intrigue as we go to see the lifeform, but instead it blares out horns and has military drums pounding away. Other than these few moments though, it's all really fitting. Tatiana is our lead, and she's a breath of fresh air in terms of protagonists. On the outside, she's a cold battle axe, but the reality is, she's just a very driven woman. Her methods are unorthodox, but she gets results, and her intelligence is why we respect her. She's also the only woman we really meet in this world of hard-ass strict masculinity. I really liked her, and I enjoyed that the film showed that she's strong, but she has her limits. The cosmonaut also goes against our expectations. They could have had him as a likeable figure so we sympathise with him, or become some dumb love interest, but they go a more interesting route.
He's a dick who has a big ego because he's hailed as some hero of the people.
But Tatiana isn't impressed by his feats, and watching her break him down are some of the best parts of the film. She's skilled at manipulating people to give her the answer she's seeking, and he's an unwitting victim to her process. The film is a very cliched idea of what you'd imagine a Russian film would be. It's a film without much happiness and is very blunt and to the point. Everything is for the good of the motherland, with a lot of lawlessness and military rule. I mean, it is set in the 1980s Soviet Union, so it's probably accurate.
Not great, not terrible.
If you're looking for a monster movie where the creature goes mental and kills a ton of folk, then this isn't the film for you. This is a much more mature, thought-provoking take on a creature feature with a focus on realistically approaching an alien life form under captivity. It takes its time to allow you to soak in the situation and characters, with a methodical pacing before any intense scenes of action happen. However, when we do reach the final 20 minutes, the film does ramp up in intensity and stakes until it all blows up and gives you the monster mayhem you came for. But even then, it's surprisingly tame. There's a big set piece where you think this thing's gonna go beast mode, but then the movie cuts away twice just as it's getting going. It's very frustrating and the only truly annoying thing in the movie for me. After waiting all that time, we don't even get a proper scene of it going on a classic monster rampage. Sputnik is a terrific looking character-based creature feature that takes a different approach to the usual conventions you'd expect of an alien movie.
It may not have enough monster action for a lot of people, and its finale is a bit underwhelming, but if you're in the mood for a dark, mysterious horror, then this is one I recommend you check out. Sputnik, I'm Russian. Babushka, Sputnik. Just in a Russian accent there.